They're protesting for the sluts. Is he freebasing awkward? How do you follow that? So I want to let you guys know from the get-go, my two biggest regrets in life are one, going to college, and two, getting married. So I'm no role model. In fact, if you're here looking for a role model, you should probably just kill yourself. Because I've met the other comics, and there's not no Obama in the bunch. So I'm an alumni of one of your fair universities. I went to ISU. We like to call it I Screwed Up. In related hack jokes, this is the first time I've been back to normal in years. So here's what I loved about ISU. While I was there, I was involved with protests to try and end the Iraq War. Didn't go anywhere. I was also involved in a riot that had something to do with the Cubs game. 3,000 soldiers dead in Iraq? Nobody gives a shit. The Cubs lose the World Series, we were turning cars over in the street. So my big mistake was that I went to ISU, but I dated a Wesleyan chick. For those of you that don't know what that's like, it's kind of like living in a homeless shelter and trying to flirt with a hot volunteer. You may get some play, but we all know that relationship is going nowhere. So that's why I decided to hump my way through the greater Bloomington Normal area. It's something I like to call Operation Any Port in the Storm. And week 3 of dropping my pants for anything with 2 boobs and a pulse, I met my future ex-wife. I want to give you guys some advice. If you meet a girl you've only known for 2 weeks, and you haven't gone on a date with her, and you're balls deep in her when she proposes marriage, bust your nut before you answer. Because it turns out marrying a chick you just met is a terrible way to make your ex-girlfriend jealous. I'm not saying it didn't work. I'm just saying it was very costly. The reason I regret going to college is that as of 2007, it's illegal to get bankruptcy for your student loans. And if you don't pay, they'll garnish your wages, your Social Security, and your medical benefits. So if you have a choice between getting money from Sally Mae or the mob, take the money from the mob. They may break your legs, but at least your mother won't end up homeless. At this point, I don't even think I have creditors looking for me. I'm pretty sure I have private detectives tracking me down. One of them fucked around in front of me on Facebook. And they're like, Mr. Ellis, we need the money. I'm sorry, I don't have it. We saw the pictures on Facebook. We know you went out last night. Like, Harold, I helped out on your farm bill. Not only am I not paying, I'm changing our relationship status to complicated. It's tough to enjoy anything when you're broke. She's still laughing. I tried taking my lady out to a nice dinner. The creditor showed up and stole my butter biscuits. I tried going out to a movie, and the creditor showed up and stole the last 10 minutes of the movie. Now I'm never going to know if Edward and Jacob hug it out. So we got a recession here. I knew it was bad when everyone on Wall Street started converting to Islam. Apparently they thought they'd seen their last prophet. It's not all bad. I'm looking forward to GM putting up a dollar menu. It's tough everywhere, man. I mean, we had Haiti, Katrina, Japan, the royal wedding. It's been getting to take that nation over with 3 members of the Wu-Tang and a big wheel. That would be the RZA, the Jizza, and METHOB, man. One thing that I learned from that is the revolution will not be televised, but it will be tweeted, hashtagged, and reposted. At the same time that was going on, 800 people were killed on the Ivory Coast. Ironically, none of them were white. So is it too soon to make jokes about Japan? Never! Because I feel like if we don't, then the hurricanes win. It's ironic because if Geico defaults on their claims, that'll make them the second lizard to decimate Japan. If anybody's looking to invest, I hear that egg rolls are going up to $100 a barrel. As soon as it happened, I thought, quick, we need a guy that used to judge horse races to head the relief effort. Oh, FEMA. I think the worst part is that the earthquake and the tsunami, that seemed like God's way of punishing people who can't drive. So I'm going through divorce, and it turns out trying to date after you get divorced is a lot like surviving the Holocaust and then trying to go to Disneyland. You know you're supposed to be happy, but something about the lines and the uniforms just makes you uncomfortable. I was looking for a good metaphor to describe love, and I think that love is a lot like smoking. You know, when you're a kid, it seems really gross. And you start to get a little bit older, it starts to look cool. And then you try it for the first time, and it makes you sick, and you swear you're never going to do that again. Then you start going to parties, and all your friends are doing it. And the next thing you know, you're spending a third of your income on something you're pretty sure is going to kill you. So, it's tough as you get older trying to meet women my own age. Has anybody here tried online dating? That one guy. Ladies? I'm sure it's a guy. I can't see the audience. Online dating is one of those things that starts out cool, and then it gets creepy. Like, it was cool that it would suggest people to me. But eventually the website started getting desperate. And that's when it got creepy. They'd be like, hey, this is Becky. She's 25, she likes long walks on the beach, and she's a chupacabra. Like, come on, man, I like Monster Quest. I don't want to date one. My Spanish brothers and sisters, Lengo Diablo, no me gusta el chupacabra. That is the extent of my Spanish. Unless you would like to locate a library. And Donde es biblioteca. So another thing that starts out cool is it tells you how far away a girl is. But when it told me one girl was 0 miles away, that's when it got creepy. So this is the message I sent to her. Dear Mom, if you're in the attic, please come down. Hitler is dead and nobody wants to read your secret diary. Second Holocaust reference. The thing I hate most about online dating is my Norton's anti-security expired like 6 years ago, and apparently you need no less than 2 priests and a rabbi to get this off of your computer. Every time I think it's gone, it pops back up. It's like Sarah Palin in the news. So ghosts don't make a lot of sense to me. How come nobody's ever seen a ghost dinosaur? I think that would be really scary. 2, my house is haunted. By what? Tyrannosaurus Rex! I think if my house was haunted by a dinosaur, it would be a real conundrum for the Catholic Church. Because on the one hand, they're prepared to deal with an exorcism. On the other hand, they may have to admit that the earth is more than 6,000 years old. I'd have to go to a Scientologist for that one. With my second ghost joke. So I looked at my notebook the other day. We're just going to knock him out. I looked at my notebook the other day, and it said, 2 a.m., mumble, scare a ghost. Which to me reads like a madman's to-do list. What am I going to do today? Got up at 2 a.m.? Ooh, mumbling. I like mumbling. So better go scare that ghost. It's retarded. Stop laughing. So I'm originally from Colorado, and people call me all the time and they're like, hey man, what's it like in Chicago? I'm like, it's cool, but people like to put a lot of extra S's at the end of their words. Like my buddy said to me the other day, hey man, let's go to Jules. I said, you mean Osco? He said, yeah man, let's go to Osco's. How many fucking grocery stores are we going to? I don't normally say this, but an itemized list might seriously reduce your need for multiple shopping locations. It's hard for me to say that because my mother's British and my father stutters. As a kid, I was always trying to chew my words and spit them at the same time. But I love Chicago because I see stuff there I've never seen anyplace else. The other day I was driving in the city, I saw the hottest fucking homeless girl I'd ever seen in my life. I almost wrecked my car diving in the passenger seat for change. I don't date the homeless, mostly because I live with my parents. I tried bringing home a buddy one time, didn't work out that well. I hate to see my parents try and drown a homeless girl just to teach me a lesson. My father loves that joke. He said if I ever did bring home a homeless girl, he would try and drown her. Not to teach me a lesson, he just really likes drowning homeless girls. And hot dogs. He's a complicated guy. So I looked at an octopus the other day, and I realized they're basically a giant spider with snakes for legs. You add a clown mask to that, and that's every nightmare I've ever had as a child. So, my friend recently transferred their little sister from a mental health facility to a farm. Because as we all